absolutely tragic. Oh my goodness. So many people have asked me to do a video on this story. You have people at me on Twitter and everything, Instagram. Oh, do a video on this story. When are you gonna do a video on this story? And obvious implication is that I'm not gonna do a video on this story because of the racial dynamic. That's not true, clearly. Long story short, what happens in this story is that you have a mother and son who tragically perish at the hands of a, mentally unstable woman. That's it. That's the story. That is literally the story. Now, what I find to be the real tragedy is that people are politicizing this tragic event. That's what I find to be the real horror of this story, is that people are standing on top of the grave of a 3-year-old child and his mother in order to race bait and to promote anti-black racism. Because I want you to understand that when it comes to stories like this, all black people are in unison of it being a tragedy. Hey, little innocent little 3-year-old, his mother, some random crazy person, black woman attacked him. That's horrible. That's evil. There's nothing we can do about that. That's a horrible. But you happen to notice that when the shoe is flipped, right? When you have like a Tamir Rice, right? Or Elijah McClain, it's more of, well, that's what you get. What happened? They go out of their way to try and justify the victimization of black youth. That's what they do. And I want people to understand that they are trying to remove the humanity from this woman, the black woman who has mental health issues. She had mental health issues for quite some time. Apparently, she was talking about how she worked at this organization. They don't even know she exists, okay? No record of her working at this. But I want you to understand what they are trying to do, because they had her in court and she was smiling just, right? Like a mentally unstable person. And what the right is trying to do, what many of them on the right, what they have done is created victims of white people. They have promoted victimhood mentality on these white ignorants. So they feel like they're being attacked. You have such comments as, oh, there's no hate crime that was charged. I can't believe there's a hate crime that's charged. How do you charge a hate crime on someone who's mentally unstable, right? They don't know. They're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. How do you charge them with intent due to a racial prejudice when they're crazy?
He's out of line, but he's right.
I don't understand. When we need to be working on the mental health of society as opposed to trying to race bait and look, it was a white kid and a black murderer. No, that's not how that works. But that's how they have been trained and conditioned, is to see themselves as victims. To say, hey, we're being treated unfairly. This is anti-white racism. Where's our hate crime? Oh, this is evil. This is wickedness. And that's what they do. Instead of taking this as a horrible, tragic event, what they have done is try to racialize it, which is what they've done throughout history, hence via a lineage of evil. They're trying to racialize the crime as where we can see this, say this is a horrible event, this is bad, this person should go away, even though they're mentally unstable. They have to, suffer for what they did. Take the innocence of a child and the mother. Absolutely. But how they view it is that, hey, this is reinforcement of their hatred of black people. That's what this is. You have to understand, every single time you have a case like this is just reinforcement of their bigotry, of their hatred of black people. You see, they are violent. You see, they are criminals. You see, this is what it is. But you notice that when it comes to them, right, when they do some heinous actions, oh, it's mental health. We have to worry about the mental health. What happened? I can't believe this happened to them. He was such a good kid. I can't believe he would just go into the theater and do such a thing. Well, we have to focus on why this happened. You have to understand the duality of these people, the absolute perversion of their mind and how they do these mental gymnastics to justify and validate their worldview. And what it goes back to is this great joke by the great late Paul Mooney. And in gist, you have this white man and this black man, and the judge is talking to the white man, says, white man, why did you go into your house and completely pew everyone in the house, including your child, the wife, the mother-in-law? Why did you do that? And, the white man says, you know what, Judge, I have schizophrenia, okay? I have multiple personality disorder, and it wasn't me. It was one of the other personalities. And the judge says, oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. We have to study this. We need to study what causes this poor white man to do such heinous acts of violence. Well, we'll look into it. We'll see if we can get you a prescription and medication to help you deal with this suffering that you're clearly going through. And you have the black man. And the judge says, Mr. Blackman, why did you go into your house and pew everyone in the house, including your children and the wife and the mother-in-law and whatnot? And the black man says, you know what, Judge, I have schizophrenia. I have multiple personality disorder, and it wasn't me. It was one of the other disorders. And the judge says, oh, really, nigga? Well, you choose which one of those disorders, which one of those personalities you want to be, and they're going to get life in prison. That's what's going to happen. So it's sad. It's a sad joke, but the joke is that is reality. That's how they have been trained and conditioned many people to view things through this racialized lens. Now, I'm not making it racial. I'm just making an observation on their wickedness. So when it comes to stories like this, you have to understand that it's a different type of analysis that is given when the perpetrator is white and the victim is black, as opposed to the perpetrator being black and the victim is white. It's a different type of analysis that these racists and these saltines love to give. And you know what? I'm just simply calling it out. Because if I were to treat this little 3-year-old white kid how they treated some of our black victims, well, the first thing I would do is look into this child's history. Does this child have any history of bigotry? Why don't we interview their classmates? Has this child ever done anything? Maybe the child caused this black woman to do this. Maybe the mother caused this black woman to do this. Was there any type of relationship between her and the black woman? Like, I would like to go into detail as far as maybe why don't we scrub their social media of the woman? Why don't we scrub the social media of the father? He's still alive. Let's look into that. And you see how evil and wicked that is, right? You see how. I'm sure there's people who are probably upset right now. Oh, I can't believe you do it. You see that. But when they do it to us, we're supposed to just take it on the chin. No, not anymore. That's not going to happen, okay? That's not going to happen. So when you have a story like this, yeah, it's a tragic story. But perhaps maybe Republicans, white conservatives, should invest more in mental health instead of just talking about it when a tragedy happens. How about you look into that and actually invest in mental health and the people of this world, of this planet, okay? Instead of trying to racialize and politicize everything for your political gain. How about that? And maybe this situation wouldn't have happened. Maybe this could have been avoided. But you know that can't happen because many are from a lineage of evil. Many of them have never gotten that evil out of their system. So they will continue on being victims and crying and whining and saying, look at what's happening to us. Pathetic. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sure there's some people, look, this is horrible, and this is what black people do, and then this is an innocent little baby, and that should never happen, and this is horrible, this is wicked. Or if you don't believe, I don't want to hear of this. Because where were all those tears when we had a litany of black victims lined up? And you tried to do everything in your power to try and justify as far as their deaths. Where was that? So at least I have some integrity. It can say, hey, this is horrible. There's no reason to racialize this because there is nothing racial about it. There is nothing, no evidence, no facts and evidence, nothing that leads to anyone trying to say, oh, she did it because it was a white baby. She did it because it was a white mother. Nothing. They just want to be victims. As opposed to almost damn near every single incident where I've come out and said, hey, there seems to be a racial undertone to it. Has to be the case. Ahmaud Arbery, what happened? We come to find out this person's putting out racist things on their Facebook and everything. So they just want to be victims. They want to be black, but they haven't gone through the suffering and the history to be black. What did Paul Mooney say again? Man, the great late Paul Mooney, right? Everybody wants to be a nigga, but nobody wants to be a nigga, right? They want to be a victim and we victims, but they've never been victimized. So, very interesting, very weird mindset many of these racists have. But nevertheless, hope you guys enjoy the video. If you disagree, you know where to find me, Friday through Sunday. You can call in, disagree, we'll talk it out. If you enjoy the video, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. I'm not making it racial.